Hello, you're very welcome to this video from Careers Portal. Today I'll be exploring the MyFuture Plus program and platform and how it may support you in exploring your pathway in education, training, developing work experience and employability, and employment in your career. So to start with, you can log on to Careersportal.ie. The browser that I'm using is Chrome. There's various different types of browsers you may use, whether it's Edge or Mozilla Firefox, Explorer. You can use different ones in relation to iOS devices and so on, if that's Safari, for example. I can integrate different tools that may support me if I need to, whether it's read aloud that the actual browser that I'm using will read the text that is on a particular site, or indeed text to speech to support me if I need to do that for access or accessibility. So what I do is you can move up to the top right of the screen there and click login, and you add in your username and your secure password and click login. So when you log in, you will see three distinct sections, and that is understanding and developing yourself. Who am I? Who might I like to be? And where I'm looking to work towards. Exploring life, learning and work. These are the how I will get there. Which course might I look to do? Which training might I look to do? And so on. And as well as that, I can begin to look by exploring the over 1,000 careers and occupations that Careers Portal have explored the different pathways into, along with jobs in demand and other elements for me to understand my journey. So the section that I'm going to look at today is Career Notepad. Career Notepad will connect with a couple of different areas. It may well connect with my career documents. For instance, if I click into Career Notepad, what I might look to do is I might look to add in a sample personal statement. And I might look to get support with this personal statement from my guidance worker, my support worker. So I have a sample statement there that I've taken from a UCAS site. And what I can do is I can add the text of that in, and I can edit it and reflect, is this personal statement supporting me and representing me in the best way that I can towards a particular course that I'm applying for. Essentially, it's like a cover letter to describe me to a particular college that I'm applying for or course that I'm applying for. So once I'm happy with the content of this particular personal statement in my career notepad, what I can do, one of the things I can do as well is get an idea of the overall kind of word count, because there might be a word limit on the personal statement that I'm applying for. So I can save this into my career notepad. And that's there for me to see and me to edit if I want to. If I need to go back and edit it, I can go in and edit this and save and so on. So as well as this, some people would use the Career Notepad in that way. Other people might use Career Notepad to explore options of perhaps a cover letter. This is a sample of a cover letter that I've taken from an alternate site, and I can add this into my Career Notepad. And with this, what I can do is I can work with the actual format of it. I can work with the overall kind of text and the details. And what I can do is add different elements into it. So to work with this cover letter, if I'm applying for a particular job, I can address it to a person, or what I can do is I can specifically talk about me in relation to the job I'm applying for. Because your CV will say what you have done, what you can do, the impact you've had, the situations you've worked in, the tasks, the action results that you have done. What a cover letter will do will talk specifically about you in relation to the job you're applying for. So it acts like an introduction for you to, and draws you closer in skills, experience to the actual job that you're applying for. So once I'm happy with the actual text that I have within my cover letter as a sample, what I can do is I can save this, give it a document title of cover letter, and I can save this within my career notepad. Again, that's there for me if I want to go back into it, if I want to edit it if needs be, add any items to it or change it around to suit. Other people would use the career notepad in a different way. It may well be that you are looking for specific types of jobs. And with these specific types of jobs, you're looking at the overall job spec itself. So if I click into Career Explorer, I'm in a Career Explorer now, and Careersportal have profiled over 1,000 occupations and jobs. So I can go into one of these occupations and I can get a sense of all that's involved with it. So say, for instance, if I go into social care, I can add that to my favorites and that will add to my career library. When I click on the link, it takes me into an overall view of what's involved in the work of a social care worker, the knowledge and skills I would need to have. So these would match towards the type of things I need to be talking about and showing on my CV, or indeed bringing into my cover letter. There's information that I can look up in relation to the overall sector itself from the 33 sectors that Careersportal have profiled in the Irish economy. The practicalities of what I can look at is the work. What's involved in the work? Do I have the skills, experience, and have I worked in particular situations that are relevant to this? And can I highlight them in a cover letter or my CV? There's the particular interest that would match to this type of person who works in this particular type of role, and the entry that a person would need to go through to develop the qualifications, and in this particular case, career registration to be a social care worker. There's different information in relation to labour market and so on. But the section that I'm going to show you is to move down through the actual careers and the overall courses that we have profiled that are relevant to social work and social care work. I'll move down to the job search section. So I can go in and I can click on live jobs that are available, and I can begin to look at different career specs. A career spec is a representation from the employer of who they're looking for in terms of the person specifications and the actual competencies or what skills you would need to be able to do to work in that job. So if you take for example, the daffodil care worker, what I can do is I can take a copy of all the information here and I can go in to my notepad. If I go up to the top, I can click on my career file. That will bring me back to the main screen, and I can click on Career Notepad. So I have added a couple of social care occupations. So with this overall note that I've made in my notepad and the one that I'm going to add, what I can do is I can begin to reflect on, are there common themes, common skills, common groups of people that basically I would need to show in a CV that I have either worked with, have skills and experience of working with and supporting, and so on. So I can get a sense of all that's involved in working in this particular type of work and working for this particular company and so on. So the actual job specs itself, I can get a sense of and be clear about in relation to the type of work that would be involved in that. And I can represent that the best way I can in relation to my cover letter and perhaps in relation to my CV as well, or a networking platform that I may be using. So I can save that job spec, and that job spec is there for me there. So I can compare the two. I could go into a previous one that I have saved to get an idea of the support role that I'm going to be in if I apply and interview for this particular job. And as well as that, what's involved in key skills that they're looking for. In this particular instance, a level 7 degree in applied social studies, and different key skills that they're looking for as well. And alongside that, application elements of the likes of kind of Garda vetting for Garda clearance and so on. And because employers will mention a number of different things that they are looking for, and if you can match your CV towards the particular type of things they're looking for, it gives yourself a greater chance of being called for interview. And you can move to that step then to prepare for interview. You can use the job spec along the way as well to begin to highlight. If you use the STAR method or the Carl method, when you prepare for interview, situation, task, action, result, what was the situation, what were the tasks that need to be done, what were the actions that I took, and what were the results that came from the actions that I did. And that shows to an employer when they ask you a particular question about a situation where you may have supported vulnerable adults with complex case history, you can begin to talk about a specific example to answer the question. And based on answering that question at interview, you give yourself the best opportunity for coming out as a candidate that's hired for employment. Along with this job spec, there's a key contact person as well. So in the cover letter, that will be the person that you would address your details to. So in terms of the actual cover letter, the draft of your personal statement, or using the career notepad for job specs and reflecting on these, you can use the career notepad in a number of different ways. So each time you save a document, a note in your notepad, you can add and remove these as much as you want, adding a blank document up here, or each time you log in, there'll be a blank document for you there. So you can use the notepad in a couple of different ways. And everything that you save and work on, the person who's supporting with you can link up with you to have a view on this and support you with. So if it is a service that you're linking with and they're supporting you around developing your cover letter, you can upload your cover letter and add it to your career notepad. And the person that's supporting you, the service that's supporting you using MyFuture Plus, can see and support you on that particular cover letter. Likewise as well, the actual job specs. The aim of this, I suppose, is to support you to get a sense of looking at job specs, developing your personal statement, and exploring your options in relation to cover letters and how they'll represent you the best way they can. Because a good cover letter with a good CV or networking platform, if you're using that, will give you the best opportunity that you can to represent yourself, to get called for interview, and to prepare for interview as well. You can use the job spec for that. You can prepare for interview based on what they're looking for in order to build up your employability to gain the employment in the career that you are looking to do. So that is the career notepad. If you've any further questions, of course, we've integrated in the resources section a quick guide that you can use and you can click into, and it will have all the details that you may need in relation to how do we use the career notepad and how this will benefit me in exploring kind of what I'm looking to do. As well as this integrated in, as this is a PDF, integrated into this our immersive reader if you will need this for access or accessibility support needs. The very best of luck to you in your career journey. Take care and all the best.